What's up, guys? Chase Oliver 68 here, bringing you my UFC 155 recap and results show. And UFC 155 was like one of the most interesting cards this year. Originally, what the plan for this fight card was going to be, especially like early this year, and rumors around summertime was that it was going to be JDS versus what's his name, Alistair Overeem. It was supposed to be that fight, but Overeem, we all know about the whole situation that he got involved with. So that fight got kind of canceled, and Cain Velasquez stepped in because he was like the only guy that you could think, wow, he's the only one that really deserves a world title shot. Another fight that was supposed to happen on this card was Chael Sonnen and Forrest Griffin. But then Chael Sonnen was like, I can beat John Jones any day of the week. So they said, see you bye to Chael, because, you know, in the UFC, if you market yourself well, you're going to get a title shot. That's for sure. If you market yourself well, you'll get a title shot. It doesn't matter if there's people better than you. You can talk and you are marketable. You will get a title shot. That's how the UFC thinks. Don't know why, but that's what they did. So Forrest Griffin was going to face Mr. Wonderful, Bill Davis. And then Forrest Griffin's like, oh, I got injured. Time to write a book. And it's like, what? And Gray Maynard was supposed to fight Joe Lozon, and then Gray Maynard and Joe Lozon didn't fight. Chris Weidman was supposed to fight Tim Bosch, but Weidman's like, oh, my shoulder. And so pretty much this really huge stack card that we got became injury replacement, and some fans were disappointed. Now let's get started with this card. First up, Derek Brunson took on Chris Lieben in a middleweight battle, and Chris Lieben's original opponent was Carlos Vermola. And the thing, what happened was Vermola, he had to force out of the bout of an injury. Well, no surprise there. So Chris Lieben fought Derek Brunson. And Derek Brunson, you know, he's been around in the MMA community. You know, a lot of people are saying, well, Lieben should win this fight. No, Derek Brunson just said, let me dry hump you for like 3 rounds and I can win. And that's pretty much what happened. Derek Brunson just said, I'm not striking with Chris Lieben. That dude's a crazy-ass motherfucker on the feet. So I'm just going to take him down and be boring. Way to make an impact into the UFC, Derek Brunson. Welcome back. Welcome. Because I hope I never see you on a main card again, because you are not entertaining, nor is your personality. Moving on forward, Yushin Okami fought Alan Belcher. This fight, I actually thought, wow, it's going to be a good one. I think this is going to be a good fight. And it ended up being dry humping, Okami doing this, Belcher underperforming. Yeah, moving on forward. At least Okami tried to transition sometimes, but still. Okami won via unanimous decision. Kostas Philippou defeating Tim Bosch. Oh, man, if Tim Bosch can win this fight, he could get a chance against Anderson. Oh, Kostas Philippou TKO'd him? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Kostas Philippou, he looked great in this fight. I was surprised how good he looked. You know, Kostas Philippou versus Tim Bosch, it wasn't a good fight. It was more of the same, except Kostas Philippou was more vicious on the ground, and he made Tim Bosch bleed everywhere. And Kostas Philippou ends up winning via TKO, and that's pretty much the fight. Yeah, very exciting fight card so far. Now, we got Jim Miller facing off against Joe Lozon in a 3-round lightweight co-main event title fight. And really, to be honest, I was excited for, like, Gray Maynard versus Joe Lozon. And when Jim Miller stepped in, I was like, you know, Jim Miller's entertaining. There's nothing bad about the guy. I mean, he's not a terrible fighter. I mean, he's pretty damn good if you ask me. So I was kind of looking forward to this fight. Not, like, to the expectations, like, this will be a great fight. It was just going to be like, you know, maybe this fight will be a good one. This ended up being a great fight. This was a great fucking fight. This fight was amazing. Like, Joe Lozon in the first round just decimated Jim Miller. Jim Miller was like bleeding and all this other shit. It was nasty. And then in the second and third round, Jim Miller just led a comeback. You know, this fight, I could say, is kind of controversial. I can see why some people were going for Joe Lozon. For me personally, I felt Lozon did win the fight, but hey, Jim Miller did enough to win. I'm not mad about it because this was just a great entertaining fight between both these men. And I'm going with Jim Miller should fight Nate Diaz next because my friend suggested it, and I said, you know what, Alan, that sounds like a great idea. Put that fight on again. So Jim Miller won via unanimous decision. Great fight. Go check it out. This is one of the best, if not the best fight on this card. Now, moving on forward to the main event of the evening, Junior Sagano dos Santos, the UFC heavyweight champion, taking on Cain Velasquez, the former UFC heavyweight champion. Now, we all know about what happened this fight the first time. This fight was headlined for Fox. It was like, you know, that hello, let me introduce myself, my friend. And it just showed these two like, you know, it's like, it's going to be a great fight. And pretty much what the whole UFC on Fox show was, Dana White going, yeah, watch your show, money, 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 and Kurt Menefee going, okay then, let's just get on to the fight. And it was one fight, and all of a sudden it was just like, you know, they entered, and then Sagano just went, and Cain Velasquez was like, that pretty much was the first fight, and it was like very lackluster, very disappointing. So, you know, of course, there's always times with fighters, every fighter does it. I don't want to hear that, oh, this fighter doesn't do it, because every fighter does. You know, they reveal something about themselves they didn't know. You know, they'll be like Cain recently revealed, you know, I was injured when fighting Junior Dos Santos. And everyone's like, oh, God, is he really pulling this card? Because, you know, there's always fighters that do it. Nucara did it when he said he fought Frank Mir the first time. It's like, yeah, I had a staph infection when I faced Frank Mir. Then what did Frank Mir do? Break your fucking arm. Just saying. But other than that, you know, the fighters do it. Tito Ortiz is like mainly the biggest one to do it. Yeah, you know, my back, it always hurts like after a fight. So I was just like, oh God, Cain, don't do this. I mean, you're a good guy. I don't hate you. I don't even hate any of these two guys. I just wanted a good fight. And boy, oh, was I surprised. You know, the first round, Cain Velasquez just outstruck Junior Dos Santos, and this surprised me. And I know Cain Velasquez is a very technical fighter, but even then, Junior Dos Santos, he's been boxing since he was, what, like 7 years old? The dude should have a striking edge. He had no striking edge, and, you know, it looked like, you know, the takedowns, in the beginning of the fight at least, the takedowns for me, it didn't seem like they were going to do that much damage. But they were starting to do damage later on in the fight, and I really felt after the first round, Joe Rogan said it best, after that first punch, that big punch in the first round, it was over for Junior Dos Santos. And it was over for Junior Dos Santos after that big punch. I mean, Junior could not gain any ground. Cain just dominated him the whole fight. And my biggest fear was because, you know, the third round, that was like an iffy round. I didn't really know who to give it to. The fourth round was just, The fifth round, it was more Cain. But I was so afraid that there was going to be some screw jobbery here where Cain Velasquez was not going to win the title just because Dana White was going to be like, money, money, Junior Dos Santos versus Alistair Overeem. I was afraid of that. And I know a lot of fans are going to be like, UFC doesn't do that. There's been times in the UFC where the judges have fucked up. Lyoto Machida versus Shogun Rua. Benson Henderson versus Frankie Edgar 2. Even though, you know, I'm happy that Benson kept the title. And they should just change the scoring system in MMA. That's just me. But I'm happy Cain Velasquez won. He dominated Junior Dos Santos. So maybe he was injured when he faced Junior Dos Santos. But I'm not buying that in 100%. But even then, happy for Cain Velasquez, our new and once again UFC heavyweight champion 2-time. Overall, UFC 155, it's pretty much a 2-fight show. If you like lightweights and you like lightweights putting on a great fight, go watch Jim Miller versus Joe Luzon. And the main event, if you like Dos Santos, don't watch this because it's going to be like his worst performance. Or unless you want to watch it to show that the man is indeed human, go right ahead. But if you're a Cain fan, you will love this. This will be like, especially for you young wrestlers out there, and you want to watch how someone takes down someone, just watch Cain Velasquez's takedowns. They're deadly. They are deadly takedowns. Other than that, UFC 155, it was kind of uneventful. I don't even know if like the original card would have been this good. I mean, yeah, Forrest Griffin versus Bill Davis had a potential type of thing. Definitely Chris Weidman versus Tim Bosch, I think would have been better than Costas Philippou versus Tim Bosch. But, you know, now, you know, with all these kind of, you know, to me, type of upsets with Derek Brunson and Costas Philippou, you know, kind of fucks with the divisions a little bit because, you know, Tim Bosch was supposed to be a guy that was like not going to fight for the middleweight title. Obviously, Bisping was definitely the guy that many feel that he should be the next middleweight title contender. But, you know, Chris Weidman was a guy that, you know, a lot of people are saying, hey, have him fight Anderson Silva, you know, that type of deal. So, overall, okay show. That's pretty much all I got to say about it. This is Chase Oliver 68. If you guys like me, subscribe above. Check out my Twitter at Chase Oliver 68, and I made it Instagram. I don't take much pictures on there, but just follow me if you want to at CO_68. Yeah, someone took Chase Oliver 68. I don't know what the problem is. Anyways, I'm out of here. I'll see you all later. I hope you guys enjoyed your UFC 155. Tell me what you guys thought down below.